Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Dr. Velasquez, Health Officer for Spokane County. And today I'm joined by two of our team members from WIC. And if you don't know what WIC is, you should probably Google it. But just so you will know, is our Women's, Infants, and Children's program. We have 6 offices around the community located in very key areas. And today we have a topic that is very, very important. You may recall we had this conversation last year, but it's something we want to remind people this time of the year because it is World Breastfeeding Week. And with me today, I have 2 of our breastfeeding peer counselors.
Yes.
I'll make sure you get the titles
Yes.
right.
Good
Stacy and Tori. And today we're going to address some of the questions that people may have about breastfeeding. So usually the first one when I say your title is, so what does a breastfeeding peer counselor do and why is that important for people?
So as breastfeeding peer counselors, our role is to come alongside moms and sort of guide them on their breastfeeding journey. We like to catch moms while they're pregnant. We offer breastfeeding classes. We cover all the basics of breastfeeding, and then we follow them through their breastfeeding journey. And the work that we do is important because there's a lot of misinformation out there about breastfeeding, and the ways that moms get information isn't always accurate on social media. On social media, you see like someone's highlight reel and not how breastfeeding really is. And so we get to be there pretty much 24/7. Moms can get a hold of us and ask any questions they want, and we will give them accurate information, and if we don't know the answer, we can get it for them.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you a question that I think we've already learned the answer just by looking at you and listening to you. So what motivates you to work with breastfeeding parents?
So my motivation was, I started this job because I had a peer counselor with my first son. He's 6 now, and I did not have the greatest start for breastfeeding myself. And my peer counselor came alongside me and she said, hang on, wait a minute, you're doing just fine. And so from that point on, I got a lot more confidence. I felt like I was supported in this journey. And I went on to have 2 more children, breastfed for over 4.5 years straight. So it was my peer counselor at WIC that motivated me to do this. And now being here, being alongside moms, giving them confidence keeps me motivated.
Wonderful. So learn from your own experience and you learn from a peer counselor that
Yes.
motivated you to become one.
Absolutely.
So hint, maybe there are future peer counselors in the audience today.
I
so,
hope so.
Think
I
about
hope
it.
so.
Not that we're recruiting. I don't know if we're recruiting or not, but just
No,
think about it.
we're not.
We're not. But
But-
it's a very important task.
Yes.
And breastfeeding is very, very important in the early years of child. For those that can,
Yes.
we do know that not everybody can.
Yes.
But if you're able to and willing to and interested in learning more,
Yes.
we're going to talk about that today. So you alluded a little bit to concerns sometimes that people may have. And I want to ask that question to Tori so she can tell us a little bit. What have you heard about out there in terms of concerns that people have about breastfeeding?
Oh, there's lots of concerns that people have. I mean, starting from just what they see on social media versus reality. But one of the biggest concerns I've gotten a lot recently that I would like to talk about is colostrum. So colostrum is the breast milk that is made in the first few days, and it's super, super packed with nutrients, but it kind of just is expressed as drops. So a lot of time moms don't see a high volume with colostrum, so they tend to think in those first days that their baby's not getting enough milk, when in reality those drops are so nutrient packed that it is all their baby really needs, and their tummies are really, really small in those first few days. So just having more confidence and understanding about colostrum and those first few days of breastfeeding really helps address those concerns and help moms feel more confident and ease those concerns.
And knowing that their body is working.
Yeah.
There you go.
Didn't mean it.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I'm glad you brought that up. And the reason why I say I'm glad you brought that up is because we have to remember, as we said before, babies don't come with a procedure manual.
Right.
And if you're a first-time mom, you may not have the experience, or you may not have had those some people around you with the experience, and you're wondering, am I doing the right thing?
Right.
Is this working? What am I doing? And that stress is actually not a good thing.
Nope.
So the best way to address that is with factual information
Yes.
and encouragement, which is I've heard you
Absolutely.
both say, and we'll encourage you, and we'll take your
Yeah.
hand, and you can call me anytime.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
if we know someone that is either pregnant or breastfeeding, how can they get a hold of you guys? How can they connect with WIC? How can they reach one of you, and I'm going to ask both of you, or whomever is appropriate for them, so they can get the same experience?
Yeah, you can always reach out to your WIC office, whatever your home or local WIC office is, and let them know that you are interested in breastfeeding support. They will pass along your information to us, or they might even give you our direct information to call us yourself or text us as well.
So if you go to our website, you'll see WIC, and you can click there. You'll see the various offices. So
Yep.
select the one that is more convenient to you, or that you like the best neighborhood, whatever it may
Yeah.
be. And then go there, give them a call, and
Yeah.
they'll be able to connect you. Can they find information about breastfeeding on the website too?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
They can.
lots of information?
Yes.
Yes. Lots
Good.
of information on breastfeeding.
So if you're not sure, haven't thought about it, not sure that you want to call someone, go up to the website, click on it, read the information. That will give you some guidance, and then on the basis of that, make that decision. So if I'm an average community member, don't know anyone that is pregnant, don't know anyone that is breastfeeding, but I know that 3 houses down, I think there's someone that's going to have a baby. What can we do as community members to be supportive of new parents, and particularly those that are interested in breastfeeding?
So just kind of removing some of those barriers such as judgment. We have found that the AAP and the CDC and the WHO recommend breastfeeding for up to 2 years, and that there's benefits for both mom and baby up to 2 years. So removing the judgment, whether they're breastfeeding in public, whether they're breastfeeding past 1 year old, whether grandma or dad or uncle want to feed baby from a bottle, just understanding that feeding at the breast and breastfeeding is a very special feeding moment for moms and babies, and to kind of just remove that judgment and allow them to feed their baby.
Interesting. So, so we can be supportive,
Yes.
Yeah.
even if we don't know anything about it.
Right, exactly.
Just by knowing the person and knowing that that's important, that not only the bond, but from a health perspective.
Yes.
Yes.
That has significant health benefits for baby and mom,
Yes.
for both.
So
Yeah.
many.
So we can,
So
even
many.
if that's all we know, I think it's saying, okay, well, that is good.
Yeah.
Glad you're doing that, and, can I get you some water? Or
Exactly.
whatever it is, can I take
Yeah.
the dog for a walk?
Absolutely. Anything
If you
you
have a
could do
dog.
to help. Yeah.
And just telling them that they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
A lot of moms feel like they have to kind of sit in the corner, or with my personal experience with my first, I would make my husband park in the corner of a parking lot of a store, and I would feed my son there before we would go into the store, because I was so worried about what people would think. But why? Why would I think that? And why would people judge that? I'm feeding my sweet baby. People are walking around Costco eating samples, so why
True.
can't my baby eat in Costco too?
Never thought about that, but that's a good point.
Exactly.
You know, so
And I see all age groups getting the
Yeah.
free sample.
Yeah.
exactly.
So let me go back to a couple of things. So first of all, breastfeeding natural process.
Absolutely.
If you're able to and willing
Yes.
to and capable, something to be explored. We do know that a lot of employers, including us, have facilities and tools that people can use if they're
Yes.
breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Because many employers now, you can bring your baby for, like, we can bring, no, I don't have one, but if I had a baby, you can bring your baby for up
Yes.
to 3 months, I think.
I think it was 6 months.
6 months. Okay.
Yeah.
So some of the employers allow that.
Yeah.
And if baby's there, well, as you pointed out, baby's gonna have to eat. So
Yeah.
totally normal, no big deal.
Yeah.
It's part of the process. So
Part of life.
if we're not, if that's all we remember from today, that breastfeeding is a natural process, part of life, very important, just be supportive.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Any last thoughts that you want to share before we leave for today?
I want to touch on one thing that Tori mentioned. She had mentioned, the dads and grandmas and grandpas, they want to feed baby too. They want
yeah.
those special moments. There are so many ways that grandparents and dads can bond with baby outside of feeding baby a bottle. Skin to skin is one of the most magical ways for family to bond with baby,
Absolutely.
especially dads. That skin to skin moment is so beautiful. And then, grandma and grandpa close cuddling, brothers and sisters close cuddling, maybe giving mama a break so she could take a little nap while you're snuggling sweet
Sure.
baby.
Absolutely.
Just think of other ways that people could bond
Yeah.
while mom focuses on feeding her sweet baby at her breast.
Glad you mentioned that. So within the family, whatever the family looks like, we all can play a role.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
For the breastfeeding mom, that's a key role that mom is going to play.
Yes.
But we can help.
Yes.
If she wants to take a break, take a nap, we do know, particularly early on, it's a tough process to go through. It's
Yeah.
complicated. Birth is a complicated process. Luckily, it goes well most of the time. Babies don't sleep a lot,
No.
at least early on, so that
Yeah.
means that mom doesn't sleep a lot either. So anything we can do to be supportive and remove any of these misconceptions. And I'm glad you mentioned, and no judgment on social media or the internet, but just remember not everything you see out there is accurate. So if you want
Absolutely.
accurate information, go to our website, go to the
Yes.
CDC website,
Yes.
WHO, all of the organizations that make a point of having validated, scientifically validated, curated information that is available to you. Because if it's in the internet, doesn't mean that it's accurate. No criticism, no judgment. I'm just saying that it is a free space.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
So we can all put whatever we think is appropriate. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for joining us today for World Breastfeeding Week. I have trouble with that 3 words in a row. And if you're out there and you're pregnant, know someone that is, have a baby, know someone that has a baby, is going to have a baby, or there's a baby in the neighborhood, in the family, or somewhere around you, just share this information with them today. And if you have any questions, have them go to the website, call the WIC office, and the team there will be happy to steer you in the right direction.
Yes.
So with that, we're going to say thank you
Thank
to both
you.
of you
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Dr.
And thank you, everybody, for listening to us. And have a great World Breastfeeding Week to all moms that are breastfeeding. Thank you very much for joining us today. We'll see you again next week. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you.
Thank you.